Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Racers Driving League for Season 16, Round 18 of the Championship. Welcome to the Losail International Circuit for the Qatar Grand Prix, the second outing here at Qatar in the RDL. And I'm your host, Zach RC. Alongside me once again is Season 11 champion, Touch Me Pope. Pope, welcome back. You were not here last time we were at Qatar. Can you explain that for us?
Yeah, I wasn't here. No idea what I was doing. Just went for my camera roll to find out where I was on the 13th of November 2023, but I have zero idea. So, yeah, but I'm excited. First time in Qatar, 16 corners around the circuit. One I'm excited to drive next season. Massively excited to drive next season. So, yeah, looking forward. And we're now 5 races to go. We're at the crunch point of this season. It is so interesting.
It is getting to crunch time, and I'll tell you what, the drivers won't be the only ones feeling the heat, because basically what you were telling me beforehand, that the temperature's quite high in your room right now, so it's almost like you're in Qatar yourself.
I was going to say, yeah, I do feel like I am in Qatar. It is absolutely roasting. I feel like just pouring water all over myself. However, I don't think that'll be very good for the microphone.
Yeah, probably not. That's something you keep to your Twitch streams. I think if I'm completely honest, that's something we keep to that. In terms of that heat, though, in terms of that pressure, we're looking at the Drivers' Championship in particular. Grumio leads Landlord by 14. He's got to get his skates on now, because we are closing in. Only 50 more points on offer this season, and Landlord needs to close in on his teammate and the record champion as he looks to add another championship to his tally.
Yeah, 50 points up for grabs, sitting, was it 14 behind?
That's correct.
So, yeah, it's going to be quite tough. Having an interview with JB midweek as well. Yeah, I got asked about this. Is it possible for Landlord? I said, it can be possible. We know Grumio he's done it 6 times before. He's looking for his 7th. He's incredible at this. But we have seen mistakes in Grumio. I mean, look at last season where I think one of the highest penalty points in the entire season. So there's mistakes in Grumio, but Landlord has to make sure he's cutting out his mistakes. And thankfully, he's here early on in qualifying, unlike last week, which really did hinder his race.
Well, in terms of the rest of the session, I got Lucky Lambo about to leave. I'd say to the last corner. Do you want to take us on a lap?
I would absolutely love to do that.
Excellent.
Very long straight here. DRS open very early, so this is where I'm going to see a lot of overtakes. Very powerful on this start-finish race. And then we're looking for turn 1. We're already setting up the apex, going to make sure this car doesn't get in our way. Swing it in, hit the clip of the apex. Fantastic there by Lucky. Drag it all the way to the outside. Turn to another sweeping corner where it carries as much speed through there as possible, using every single part of the track, using all the limits. Turn 3 is a little kink, and then this section of track, turn 4 and turn 5. Really tough to get it right, and very easy to invalidate on that left-hand side. That's the end of Sector 1. Start of Sector 2 is turn 6, really tough. One of my weakest corners on this track. Very easy to lose the back end through there. Turn 7 is this lovely little right-hander which blends perfectly into turn 8, which then flows into turn 9. This circuit's so flowing, you can tell it's really used for MotoGP. Turn 10 is this other left-hander. Got to use all the exit on the side, use all the curb. Flying duck sets on 121.6. Turn 11 was that little kink just there. And then the best part, end of Sector 2, start of Sector 3, 12, 13 and 14. You can go flat out through this nearly all the way during the race. It's absolutely incredible the speed you carry there. Turn 15, you can also carry so much speed, it's crazy, 165 miles an hour through that corner. Turn 16 is this right-hander, clip the apex, use all the outside, get that car straightened up as quickly as possible, DRS back open. We'll see where this puts Lucky, looking at a 1:21.6. Great lap there by Lucky Lambert.
Excellent lap indeed, but it's not off top Imri just yet. Imri sets the fastest time of the session, so it's 1 minute 20.8 to kick things off. PJ and Lucky both getting themselves in front of Flying Duck, who set that first lap. Of course, Flying Duck, he's had an impressive start to his ideal course. He's shown pace, especially in qualifying. I think we've got to keep an eye on him over the course of the session. See BJ going P5. They're both Alpines there, 2nd and 3rd at the minute, so a good start to the session for them. Of course, they're still chasing, trying to close up in 5th place in the championship, but that could be a bit of a lofty task, given Fan and BJ both also in the race tonight and looking for some more points.
Yeah, really good season so far from Alpine, and sitting a very nice P6. So yeah, definitely possible to get McLaren. I mean, right now as well, they've got 2 cars ahead of both McLarens at the moment. Obviously, fans still yet to set a lap time, so we'll see on that. However, I'm having a look how close these times are. 3 drivers in the 121.6s.
Landlord goes P2 there.
It's one more P2, 3/10 off Imri. Imri's a fantastic lap time in that Ferrari. Be interested to see if he can carry that pace towards the end of the session. It'll be very, very good for him, who's had a fantastic second real stint in this season. His car goes 3/10 faster than that with a 120.5 car. Obviously on pole last week at Japan. Gonna try and recreate that form here, and it's looking likely with a fantastic lap time.
Indeed, of course, came very close to winning the last time out in Japan as well. Led the early going alongside Grumio, got shuffled out with a few laps left to go, allowing Grumio to go on for the victory. Landlord was quick on, he was quick last Monday, but just didn't have that pace to challenge his teammate. Do you reckon we'll see any less of that tonight?
It'd be interesting to see. I don't really know what Grumio's pace is around here. Obviously, like I said, I wasn't here last season, so I am a bit unsure on what everyone's individual paces around this circuit compared to last season. So I don't know. It's going to be real tough though, because we know how good Grumio is, and Landlord's just got a very big mountain to climb.
It's quite an unknown, given that I only had one visit to the track, and I feel like Grumio wasn't actually here for this race last season. Part of me feels as though that was the case. I believe it was Che who won this race last season after a very, very late tussle with Grovey. That was a fantastic race. You definitely missed a fun one, if I'm completely honest with you, Pope. Looking at the order now, 13 drivers have set times. We're still waiting on 5 more. Those drivers being Grumio, who's been around several times but validated. He's into the pit lane. So he'll join Courtney Goblin, Websy, JB and Badman, all of whom are yet to make their way onto the racetrack. So waiting on those guys for the minute. Fan in P4 though, he's doing an impressive job so far. 1 minute 21.1 as he goes into the pit lane. Of course, we saw McLaren win yesterday in Miami, so perhaps we could be looking at another one tonight maybe.
I mean, that'd be very, very good for McLaren if so, especially for their season here in RDL. And yeah, huge congratulations to Lando Norris for winning his first ever Grand Prix yesterday in a fantastic race. And hopefully we'll see just as good as a race this time around. One thing I'm looking at as well is Badman. Obviously not set a lap time yet. Promoted to Mercedes driver for this race. Been reserve in the past couple of races, been fantastic I do have to say. And is now in a full-time seat, so very well done to Badman. It's
good to see him back. Of course, he was behind the wheel during last season in the Red Bull for a certain period amount of time, although that may have been season 14. My memory is a bit too short on that, but good to see Badman back on the grid once again, because he had the pace, but from what I remember back in the day, so hopefully he hasn't lost a yard of that. I mean, we're saying it, we've seen it. He's been up there challenging for points almost every week since he's been reserving. But perhaps we'll get a bit more of a glimpse when we see him out on the racetrack once again, as PJ comes back out of the pit lane.
Yeah, to see Imri starting his lap, going towards turn 4. Be interested to see how the drivers, obviously, like I say, we've only had one race round here. Everyone's still trying to get used to the track a little bit, and it's not like a circuit like Silverstone, which has been in part of every single season in Formula 1 history. This track's very new to these drivers, so everyone's going to take the corners just that little bit differently, and it will see who it will benefit. That's one thing I'll be looking out during this race.
Should be exciting to keep an eye out for. And of course, potentially we could be looking at changes to that on the next game. I believe Qatar is one of several tracks that's had a workaround for F1 24. It hasn't been completely remodified as Silverstone has, but Qatar already, that people have been driving it for a year and they may have to make adjustments to it.
Yeah, I'm glad they are making these changes, and obviously it's great for me who's going to be back in that race seat. But yeah, I'd be very, very interested. It would be fantastic to see. Again, we have to learn these tracks that we know very well, learn them all over again, which hopefully will create some exciting racing for you in the commentary box. Definitely,
and even just a change to the game in general. We've seen that in the past as Imri improves by several tenths there, but still just over a tenth behind the Alfa Romeo of Cott is back out on the racetrack here. We'll keep an eye on the session as it continues here. Flying Duck coming through the last corner, he's almost 2 tenths up. But yeah, just in terms of obviously new game, it's no secret that can completely change the order in itself. Of course, we saw Websy last season on a fantastic run, which I think this game suits him a lot more perhaps than previous games did, as Flying Duck goes P6. And that's what sort of propelled him to a run-up finish in the championship last year.
I mean, yeah, we've always commented on that. I mean, I won a championship down to that as well. I mean, F1 2021 was a big change from 2020, and I was able to capitalise on that by getting used to the game quite quickly, and hopefully looking to do the same thing next season. Looking at Red J as well, who I believe scored a top 10 finish last time out. So really making strides on improvement there. Sitting bottom of the people who have set a lap time, but I'm sure will be looking to improve in that red 5 Ferrari.
Definitely. And of course, we're looking here at the standings. We're still waiting on him to score that first point. Of course, Company Goblin scored scored last week. He was the big name in the points, so looking forward to perhaps seeing if he can build on that. In the pit lane right now, he's the only driver yet to set a lap time that's still in the pits. Webster goes P5, fantastic lap in the other Haas there. But still 7 minutes to go. There's plenty of time for things to still change. But Grumio is a concern here, Pope. If I'm looking completely honest here, he's invalidated every single effort so far. I mean, and it doesn't look. I can't speak. It doesn't look like this case be more of the same. He's 26 seconds in the first sector, but he's still got a lot of lap left to run. I haven't seen him yet. I'm not quite sure where it is he's invalidating, so we have to try and brush that mistake off, or brush that same consistent error off, and keep on plugging away at it if he wants a good starting spot. Because given Landlord's in P3 right now, an error such as that, as Courtney Goblin retires from the session in the pit lane, so we won't be seeing a lap from him today, at least in the qualifying session. But as for Grumio though, he needs to get a lap in at minimum. He's 53 seconds in the second sector, so he's not doing too bad. We'll have to see whereabouts he emerges when he comes out the last corner. There's a stock Mercedes on the racetrack who's spun out, and that looks like it was bad. It was not Badman. It was Shane who is there on the track, who is recovered. He looks to recover it though once that Ferrari goes past, and he will do that. As Cock goes fast again, but can Grumio match him? He might do it. He won't do it. P2. But a front row position right now. I'm getting deja vu, Pope. This is the same front row as last week.
Same front row as last week, but a much bigger gap. Cut is absolutely flying in that Alfa Romeo around this circuit. One thing I am noticing as well, the ERS deployment is so much around the circuit. They are running out of ERS for that start for this straight again. It'd be interesting to see if that's where Cot's picking up a little bit of time by saving some in the more twisty sections of the circuit. Not too sure, but I'll try and keep an eye out on that. But yeah, great lap time there from Grumio and showing the pace of the 6-time champion.
Without doubt, and I completely agree with what you said on the ERS. This is perhaps one of the fastest tracks we've ever visited in Formula 1. And as you said earlier, you can definitely tell us that most GP have been taking advantage of this circuit for quite a long time. Because to my mind, it's always produced fantastic racing, no matter where I've seen it. So I'm looking forward to more of the same tonight. But however, that DRS train, which could be a big talking point in tonight's race.
I mean, yeah, we saw a big train last week at Japan. That was fantastic to see there, and around a circuit which typically you don't see it too much, though obviously a lot of people are in packs, not a big old train like it was. So yeah, be interested to see if anything's slightly replicated around this circuit. But yeah, I have to say though, the cars look fantastic driving around this circuit. It's absolutely stunning.
It's always good to see, especially graphically. I do agree with you, it looks brilliant. Wisburn over the line there, P6 in the Red Bull. I must tell you, Pope, I'm sure you agree with us. Wisburn has settled in so well in these first couple of races. He's already up to P9 in the Drivers' Championship. And given how tough it's been to score points this season, that's quite a remarkable feat for someone making their debut. I'm getting shades of sort of drivers who came in last season that had pace. So sort of Imrie, Grovey, Cott, those drivers there.
Oh yeah, 100%. Wisburn would have fit in perfectly with those type of drivers. Yeah, Wisburn's really impressed me, I would have to say. And got podium last week out as well. I think that's the second podium of the season for Wisburn.
Indeed is.
Please, yeah, fantastic. Oh, look at me with the stats this
week.
Hang
on. I think you're right. I will just check here just to make sure. 1, 2.
Do you have to make sure now, but I'm pretty certain it's right.
That's 2 podiums in 4 races. Well done, Pope. You're the 2 podiums.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, really settling in, like you're saying. It's nice to see it as well, because obviously with the likes of Grovey and Sledges are both leaving the Red Bull team during this season, they needed someone to step up, and they've got 2 fantastic drivers in Wisburn and Fuggy, so they'll be very happy with that.
Indeed, Fergus in P10 as it stands at the moment. His best time 1 minute 21.3. He's back out on the racetrack though, and looking to set another one before the end of the session. Draws ever nearer. Majority of cars in the pit lane right now, so I imagine we'll get one last scramble as we normally do. I see both Ferraris making their way out. I have to see a look as to who comes out first. Red J's out first, so I think we could be looking at some team play here from Ferrari. We could be looking perhaps at Red J giving Imrie a crucial run down the main straight with DRS. The lone DRS zone in this circuit. And potentially, so if we see Red J back up, of course, then we'll know what's going down. But remember, this has gone wrong for them in the past. I think back to Spain early this season when Red J gave Imrie the run, but then moved out of the way and almost, I believe he collided with someone coming out of the pit lane, which wasn't a favourable incident, if I'm completely honest.
I do remember that because I was in that race. I remember
Was it you? Was it you crashed into?
I don't think it was me crashed into, but I remember being in that race and it happening. But yeah, I'm looking at Red J and obviously not scored points yet. Sitting not so pretty currently right now, but picked up a little bit of form recently. Be interested to see what happens next season for Red J and where he ends up. But he's got a point to prove in his last 5 races. I'm sure he can do it, and it'll look very interesting for the drivers to see if this teamwork pays off. It's always good to have a teammate who is always team focused.
Let's see if Red J backs up. I think he is doing just that. Have to see if it's close enough. Yes, that is what's going on. You can see Red J over on the right hand side there, and Imri's going to get the toe that he needs. And that was almost effortless from the Ferrari team there. Good move. I'll get Imri off to a good start. Keep an eye on this lap here, folks. Let's ride on board with the Ferrari as he goes through turns 1 and then 2. We'll see whereabouts that gets him in terms of time difference. Well, keep an eye on the Delta when he comes out turn number 5. Through the right-hander, nice and smooth there. Careful not to invalidate. That's the key thing. That's his best chance. He's a 10th up. He needs another 10th to get himself on the front row again. There's the Alfa Romeo of Cot. Of course, the lone Alfa Romeo in the race tonight. No Curtis with us this evening. He comes through sector 2.
I just love how this car just settles through these corners. I just think it's absolutely remarkable.
You mean these regulations, or?
In regulation wise, yeah, and how Imri's driving it, everything is just so picture perfect. It's crazy that car is currently 3 times faster than Imri. It's just absolutely outstanding.
Well, it's fantastic.
I wasn't able to see that sector 2 split.
Oh! Big one around goes Imri. And Pope, I think we may have got a bit too excited there watching Imri go around. And I'm sure that perhaps could be looking at another run maybe if Red J is there. So he could
pulling into the pits.
And that might be the end of Imri's qualifying session there. His chance to go on the front row shattered. This Flying Duck retires.
Oh, big crash. Yeah, big crash. Before at 15. So see a couple of drivers losing it a little bit. A couple of drivers already going into the pits as well. Lucky Lambert ended his qualifying session as well in P12. Bad retiring on the circuit. Oh, this could be a bit dangerous for the Alfa Romeo. Ooh. Just out the way there for Badman. But yeah, a couple of drivers just not able to get.
Oh, he's crashed it. I think that's Badman. He was on the gravel.
I'm not sure. I think he did retire on track.
Oh, okay.
Half a 10th up on his down on his time, should I say? I'm not really.
No. He's up. Oh,
sliding through Cots. This is very, very interesting. These drivers just aren't able to extract the pace they were able to earlier on in the session.
Keep an eye on these guys.
See if Grumio can do anything about that, trying to capitalise on these other drivers making these small mistakes.
Well, Cot to 10th down now. The checker flag has now fallen on the session. Majority of cars have finished their laps. So we are waiting here for about 8 more cars to come through. Cot's will be the first one through to the line. And there'll be Red J coming in behind. Red J's invalidated, so he goes off into the pit lane. There'll be Grumio coming in just behind, but Grumio's invalidated too.
He's invalidated, and he was a 10th down already. So it's looking very likely that we're going to see Cot 5 back on pole position.
He's done it, yes. Cot didn't improve, but he's put himself back on pole. So Grumio will sit there in 2nd place. And then Webbsy into the pit lane. JB also into the pit lane, yes. Fan is next one through. We'll see what he can do. At the last corner, DRS now wide open. Red Bull there behind him as he charges towards the line. That'll be Wisburn on his last run. Fan towards the line. Could be a 20. It's a P4 for him.
Wow.
Wisburn stays P9.
Lap.
And Ethan towards the... Oh, no, that's not Ethan. Sorry, that is PJ. PJ crisscrossed the line. He'll stay P10. And Ethan slowing up here. Is he out of fuel on this run?
I believe he is out of fuel, yeah.
Gutting. But it's Cot on pole then.
Great lap there by Cot. 3 attempts ahead of Grumio. That's a real dominated session in qualifying, especially when the only lap time is only 1 minute 20. That's not a lot of time to gain 3 attempts. So it'd be interesting to see how that plays out in the race. But yeah, also a great lap there by Fan in P4.
Let's go through your top 10 then before we go to intermission. So Koch will start on pole. He'll lead Grumio on the run to turn 1 for the second week in a row. Imri starts in third, Fan in fourth. Landlord starts fifth, got an even bigger mountain to climb now. Fergus starts sixth, BJ seventh, Badman eighth, Whizburn ninth, and PJ rounds with your top 10. So we'll be back within a few minutes' time for the start of the race. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Qatar Grand Prix, round 18 of season 16 of the Racers Driving League. Pope, we're within the final 5 rounds of the season, and we still have a title fight on our hands. Landlord is behind Grumio by 14. He starts in P5 today. Grumio starts in second. Landlord's got some work to do.
Yeah, it's going to be real tough for Landlord, and yeah, wasn't able to take control of his car, and a bit worried for the race. We'll see if Landlord is actually able to compete in this race, but Grumio, P2, caught with a wicked lap there and qualified 3 tenths ahead of the 6-time champion, the record champion, so really looking good for Koch there.
And of course, Koch can still take P3 in the Drivers' Championship at this rate of the season. At this point, only Landlord and Grumio can still become champion. Imri, after last week's retirement in Japan, unfortunately knocked out of contention. He sits 57 points off the lead, with only 50 to go. Still to be claimed this season. There's your circuit on screen. Of course, previous winner, Che, in the Haas. Time of about 44.5 minutes after a very, very tight tussle with Red Bull, or former Red Bull driver Grovey in the late stages. She came home second that day. One of several second place finishes in her career course. That's a couple of weeks back. But of course, in terms of the Red Bulls, Whizburn's obviously stepped up in her stead and looking to score some more points to move himself up. He's just 1 point off a fan in the championship, so could potentially take P8 by tonight.
Yes, it's looking very close in all aspects of the championships, and I do believe, how many points are left on up for an entire team? Is it 19?
Indeed. Wait, no, 18.
18, so I don't really know what 18 times 5 is off the top of my head.
It'll be 90.
90, so Red Bull still in contention, but yeah, so it's only Red Bull that can contend with Williams for that Constructors' Championship.
In terms of the exact points, Williams sit on 208, Red Bull on 155. Ferrari are more or less safe in third place. They've got their 30 points clear of Alfa Romeo in fourth, who could potentially fall under threat from McLaren should they pull it together in these last 5 races. And then behind them is a gaggle of teams, the bottom 5 separated by 15 points. Alpine lead Haas by 2. It's then a further 7 back to Mercedes. They're on 17 points, so that's 9 back from Alpine. 2 points back to Aston Martin, who have come alive in recent weeks. JB's been back on it, scoring points since the second half of the season. And, of course, AlphaTauri set dead last. For Flying Duck looking to try and change that tonight. Only need 5 points to push themselves into ninth, or to tie for ninth. So it's anyone's game as to who's going to avoid finishing last. Because, of course, we're not too far now from the reverse grid finale, which, of course, is so iconic in this league.
Yeah, the reverse grid finale is something that is always so fun. I've got a lot of great stories from that race, especially when I saw 2 drivers by the name of Devine Stack and Tinky Winky absolutely blow up into each other on that race, and me getting swiped out by the Huggy Bear as I tried to carry on, and he went into the pits. I got absolutely taken out into the wall, but that's the fun of the reverse grid finale. It completely shakes up the order.
They'll be with you in a few weeks' time. As for right now, we've got a race in Qatar to do. Here's your starting lineup then. So back row is Courtney Goblin in the Haas and Red J in the Ferrari. I believe Courtney Goblin disconnected mid-session but rejoined. He's good to go now. Row 8 would be JB and the Aston Martin and Shane in the Mercedes, because Mercedes not as quick in recent weeks, but with Badman now behind the wheel of that car as well, they've got a fairly strong lineup for tonight. Flying Duck and Lucky Lambert jump together on row 7. Of course, as I say, Flying Duck carrying the flag for the AlphaTauri team tonight, the lone AlphaTauri in the race. Both Lycon and Curtis not with us this week. On to row 6, it's Ethan in the Alpine and Websy in the Haas. Of course, Websy was as high as P5 earlier on. Starting both cars on the hard tyres. It's medium tyres for PJ Kelly. He starts your top 10. Looking to try and close and get some more points for Alpine to try and stretch their lead and hopefully try and catch McLaren. It's a big ask, but they could potentially do it in these last 5 races. You never know. Wisburn lines up P9. It's his place in the Drivers' Championship. It starts just to the outside, sorry, the inside of row number 5. In front of him, it's Badman in the Mercedes. And then BJ just in front. BJ on the medium tyres. And Ferguson P6, one of just 2 hard tyres. One of 2 soft tyre starters, rather. We'll see should that play out in the first stint after a fantastic start in last week's race as well. Landlord starts P5, of course, 14 back from Grumio in the World Championship and looking to outscore his teammate and rival in tonight's Grand Prix to try and get himself back within a race win. Reigning champion Fan lines up P4, only the reigning champion for a bit longer. He's in that chase for P5 in the standings, but BJ leads at the moment, so looking to try and score perhaps a podium tonight to get himself back on track. Imri lines up P3. He said he'd been struggling with a set of issues going into this one, so made a late change, and it looked to have paid off. He's been very strong over the course of qualifying. We'll see if it picks up in the race too. Grumio leads the way in the championship, but starts second tonight with the second week in a row, and he'll be headed once more by the Alfa Romeo of Cot 5. It takes its place on the starting grid right there in the P1 slot. Grumio is parking it over to the left there, so looking to get a good start, perhaps cover off Imri or even Cot if he gets a good enough getaway here. We'll keep an eye on that as the lights go out. Courtney Goblin, the last car to line. He's got Red J alongside him for company there on the 9th and final row of the grid. Lucky Lambert went too far forward in his pit box, so start from slightly further back. But here come the lights then. RDL's second visit to the Losail International Circuit under the lights here in Qatar. It's 5 lights. And it's foot to the floor. We are underway. Great getaway from Cot there. Grumio there on his right-hand side as they charge towards turn 1. Grumio looking for a good side draft as they enter that first corner. It looks like the same as last week. Cot's going to just squeeze in there. About a bit of a tap there, but he thinks he's managed to get through unscathed. Both cars are away. Everyone all clean through turn 1 and turn 2. Grumio falls into line. Imri in third. Fan in fourth, but he's got Landlord challenge again. 2 former champions going at it side by side in the run down towards the right-hander of turn number 4. It looks like Fan's got it from it. Single 5 to the top 5 as BJ takes Fergus for P6. Those soft tyres not doing fantastic on the getaway there. Everyone keeping it nice and tidy here. As you see further back, you see Fergus being defended by BJ. Challenges further back. You see Webbsy making a move there, looking to go perhaps even 3 while there's contact, and around go several cars. There's a big pile up. A number of cars involved in that. Yellow flag has flown. Lucky Lambert, Wisburn got a chunk of that. Several cars through the gravel. You see the Haas of Webbsy has got damage, I think. He's gone through the gravel, and a car around again. That's Flying Duck has gone around, and the virtual safety car has been deployed, and the Duck's got no wing on him. Courtney Goblin, 5-second penalty for a collision with Red J. Caught led away, but it was chaos behind him, Pope.
Yeah, that was a real big couple of incidents all within the space of a few corners, and that's what happens when the grid is so close, especially on such a high-speed circuit. And Lucky, getting very unlucky there, was not able to do anything and was just thrown into the incident that was ahead of him. And then, yeah, I think, I'm not too sure, yeah, Courtney got a penalty for collision with Flying Duck, I want to say it was. And yeah, that's now putting a lot of people into the pits, trying to change their front wing and going to need to change their tyres as well. They're going to be absolutely burnt up after those few spins, and it's going to really put them off different strategies. But it'll be interesting to see. Luckily, there is a virtual safety car, so it isn't going to lose as much time as normal.
Definitely, but a number of cars still in the lead pack there. 12 cars who still stayed on the racetrack. Wisburn's fallen back quite a bit. Those are top 11 all sort of together. So you wait now for the green flag to come back out. 5 cars in the pit lane here. We've got a double... Oh, JB's retired. What has happened to the Aston Martin?
Not too sure. I'm just going to quickly check. I'm not too sure. Red flag has been called.
So we're looking at a lobby restart then. Been a while since I've had one of those.
I know, yeah. Well, I mean, it shows that we've been pretty good at keeping
everything
clean.
Yeah, positive.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if the grid know there's a lobby restart. They're all still going for it, but yeah, I think there's more people.
The message has come through now. Okay, right. So we'll have to go to another intermission then. We're back with you shortly, and hopefully we'll get another go at that race start. Okay, welcome back. We are just about to get going once again. We are seconds away from the start of the formation lap once more. Pope has just returned in time. Pope, where were you? Where'd you go? Let the stream know. Where were you?
Talking about Manchester United because we're fucked. Sorry for the language. I apologise. It slipped out. I apologise. But yeah, we are flipped.
There we go.
It's not good.
That's more like it.
That's more like the PG Pope. But yeah, I'm excited to see what's going to happen in terms of tyre choices this time round. We saw Fuggy on the softs. I don't know if you mentioned it last time.
Yeah, I did. Also,
Really?
there's a PG Pope?
Yeah, there is PG Pope. PG Pope does exist.
Shocking.
Not with the gamer tag, it doesn't, but
Yeah.
PG Pope exists.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm going to be very shocked if I see Funky Fergus back on those soft tyres, which really did not pay him favour at the start of the last race.
And we'll see if Red J does the same as well, because he also started on the soft tyre, but got caught up in that opening lap incident there. We'll get the formation lap going shortly. I'm not sure if it'll be broadcast. And no, it's not going to be broadcast. So again, yeah, in terms of starting tyres, it looks like more of the same. Both of them going on the softs once more. So yeah,
Very interesting.
it looks like more or less everyone's going for the same tyres as they were last time round.
Is that Websy set on the grid, or is it Cottony? Cottony
Got set in the grid.
really taking his time on this formation lap.
It's the tyre temperatures, man. That's what he needs. I'll say props to him.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah. One thing I actually would be interested to see if maybe in the next few seasons, something I would like to see is we see formation laps be really long in modern Formula 1, where the last driver on the grid starts nearly half a lap behind the first driver. I wonder if we're going to see anything like that kind of come into fruition, especially with, I mean, talking about the new handling models and stuff like that for next year's game. Will tyre temps become such a more vital part of the game, even more than it is now? And will we see these formation laps be dragged out like they do in real life, where there's a lot bigger gaps? I mean, if you look here, every car's nearly nose to tail, which is just not like real life.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see if people take a different step onto that, but it's just me putting out something there.
No. I think that makes sense. Yeah, there's always a chance of that for the next game. Yeah, as I say, one of the many unknowns about new Formula 1 game.
Yeah, I'm very excited for it. It does look very good. Can't wait for them to switch engine, I do have to say, to a more up-to-date one when they remove last-gen games, really. But yeah, very excited. It looks like a really good step in the right direction. And like we discussed last week, new ERS modes. We're going to see how, well, returning back to where you change your ERS mode, it'd be interesting to see what happens with that.
Definitely, and of course, in terms of new game engine, we won't be getting that till minimum season 19 this league, which is quite a way away.
That is a long time. Wow.
I
mean, we're already on season. This is season 16. It's crazy.
It's around a good almost 50 races away. Over that.
Wow.
So we still got 5 to go this season. Anyway, but we'll discuss that a bit later. Connie Goblin, yeah, he's caught back a little bit more, but now he's getting that last bit of heat in as he brings himself towards the grid. I see Grimio once again trying the same sort of thing, but parked, angled to the left there. So he's trying to fend or get in front of Cott at the start. He got close last time. We'll see if he gets any closer this time around. He get a second attempt here at this start. 5 red lights once again here in Qatar. Lights out, foot to the floor. We're underway. Poor start from Grimio there. Good start from Fan behind. Going to try and thread the lead if he can get close enough. The Fan's the inside lane. Going towards someone. Landlord looks on the lead. We could be going 4 wide for second into the first corner. Someone's got to give. Landlord drops back massively there. He's down to P7. Not at all a good gets away, but Cott got away like a dream start there. He's away with the lead. Grimio in second. Imri third. Fan 4. Ferguson's P5. Landlord back to P6 now. He's got back around BJ. And BJ and Badman going through. And the Mercedes looking for 7th place. He'll take it. And Landlord at the inside looking for 5th. Side by side with Fergus there. Oh, God.
Interesting to see.
Sorry.
Imri is now on the hard tyres, so he's changed his strategy up to last race. Had a very good battle early on with Grimio. It'll be interesting to see if he can do that. And Fuggy using the softs to his advantage this time. Obviously, was in a bit of position here to Landlord, but not dropping back as far as last time. But these drivers are all nose to tail. It's very, very good racing so far. A lot cleaner than the first lap.
Excellent start for everyone to get through unscathed here. Cott leads by half second. He's got half second on Grimio with Imri just behind, but Imri looking to try and close in into that flat-out series of right-handers here for the first time in this Grand Prix. What a run. It's fantastic. It's fantastic to watch on board here. Grimio went a bit too deep there, went over the curbs a bit, and that could allow Imri to try and take advantage. He went for the minute, but he's right on the tail of that Williams as they charge towards the last corner. Cott will lead the first lap of this race. Short of any major dramas. Off the corner he comes. Grimio gets away on exit, but Imri will be closing back in with overtake to his advantage. So the run towards turn 1 once again. Cott saving his battery, not going for it just yet. So Grimio's going to close in a great deal here as they run towards turn 1. But Imri goes to the outside though before Grimio can get close enough. Into the first corner they come, and it looks as though Grimio gets in front for the minute. But Imri has got a good exit too. Grimio all over the shop there defending from the Ferrari. He's done a fantastic job of keeping that Scarlet Red machine behind him. As Fan looks to try and get involved too if he can get close enough. Landlord there in P5, 7 tenths back. He's got Fergus and then Badman for company behind him. And BJ is the last point right now. He's being chased by Badman for P9. And Websy rounds off your top 10. Further back, we're seeing a number of cars have struggling early on here. Red Joe, no soft tyres. Hasn't got the pace of a minute. He's almost falling out of DRS range from Flying Duck in the AlphaTauri. There's your predicted strategies for the race. Perhaps we look at a one-stop for today for the majority of drivers on the mediums and hard tyres. I imagine that Fergus and Red Joe will be seeing into the pits slightly earlier in the over the course of this Grand Prix. Imri is still hassling Grimio here as they run through the second sector, but not quite close enough, though. Not quite close enough for the minute.
Yeah, no, Cott is looking so dominant so far. Though only 7/10 advantage doesn't seem that much, you just know he's able to save that battery a little bit more, like Grimio, who has to defend off that rapid Imri behind. Imri and Grimio are showing us what RDL's all about.
And keep an eye as well on Fergus, who might try and take Landor if he can get close enough going back towards turn 1. We could see a double whammy for the Williams cars here. One car gets passed by a Ferrari, the other one by a Red Bull. So they charge down the main straight once again. Imri to the inside of the racetrack. He's looking for second place off of Grimio. He's going to take it as well. They're side by side. He has the position going into turn 1, but Grimio back around the outside, still there. And on exit, oh!
Ooh!
Imri off the racetrack there. Sorry, my game lagged a bit there, Pope. Did you see what happened there?
I had the exact same thing as you. I think Imri is looking a little bit laggy right now. I'm not too sure what actually happened there, but yeah, seems to be forced off track, which is now giving it a lot of breathing space. But Fan is still not that far behind Grumio, so Grumio's now got pressure from that McLaren behind. So it'd be interesting to see what Cott does in this situation. Now he doesn't have Imri fighting Grumio.
Speaking of fighting here, BJ's got his hands full. Fergus to his inside looking at P7. He can take it on exit. McLaren's still side by side with the Red Bull there as they charge through the right-hander now towards the left. BJ jumps back in front, and Wisburn is behind his teammate looking to try and back him up as best he can. Courtney Goblin gets the time penalty there. 3 seconds for multiple warnings. He joins the Mercedes of Shane with penalties this early on in the race. Shane running P12 right now. Side by side, Websy and Wisburn here through this flat-out section of corners. And it looks as though Wisburn fell off the track a bit there. And Websy, penalty for him and almost lost the car completely. Oh, there's contact again. Several cars around there. Out of the last corner. Big shunt.
Big one. Big.
Virtual safety car has been deployed. Shane got caught up in that. Lucky Lambert involved as well. Both Alpines are involved. And I think Websy just didn't see Shane there. Good. VSC deployed on lap 4 of this race. And it's a real safety, full safety car.
It's an actual safety car,
yes, it is. Well.
I think that probably needed a red flag. That was crazy. Lucky that all the drivers have actually escaped still in this race. But look at that. 8 drivers in the pit lane. No, 6 drivers in the pit lane, sorry.
Madness there. And it all just happened so fast. We're on board with Websy. To my mind, obviously I could be wrong here. I won't make any accusations. I think Shane was sort. They almost sort of went 3 abreast. It was Shane. It was Websy, Shane, and I forget. Sorry, I forget who the third car was in that.
I think it was an Alpine.
I want to say it was an Alpine. However, I'm not sure. But regardless, they tried to go 3 wide, and I believe the Alpine got out in front, or whoever got out in front, and Shane was still there on the inside. I think Websy didn't anticipate him being there. I think.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. The thing is with issues of like such fast circuits like this one, is you can just lose your surroundings a little bit because remember you're trying to make sure that you're managing your ERS, make sure you're braking enough, I mean, obviously Websy, who's made a slight mistake a couple corners before, he's trying to recover from that. Then you've got 3 drivers trying to pass you. It is kind of crazy. We see a lot of drivers fall into the pit lane very, very early on, I do have to say. So I'll be interested to see what strategies these drivers do. But yeah, I think unfortunately it's just one of those incidents where people have just kind of lost their surroundings a little bit, and it's just, the racetrack is just that little bit too fast for 3 drivers going into one corner.
Majority of the field in the pit lane here. Cott pits from the lead onto a set of medium tyres. Grimmie onto softs there. That's quite a dramatic change from our championship leader.
I mean, maybe he just wasn't favouring those hard tyres and want to get in front of Cott. Maybe expected another safety car later on in this race. It'll be interesting to see if that pays dividends for Grimmie. But his teammate Landlord stayed out with Wisburn, with Flying Duck, and with JB.
So 4 cars yet to make their first stops this Grand Prix. If a few guys have been in once or twice already, if we count the stops made before the initial red flag. But just those 4 cars yet to come into the pit lane. Of course, JB has that 3-second penalty to worry about, as does Courtney Goblin, as does Shane, as does Websy. So 4 drivers who have fallen foul of track limits already. We're only on lap 5. But plenty of time for things to change in this Grand Prix.
Indeed, indeed. Looking at the drivers, yeah, Courtney, Shane, Websy with penalties. The Haas team not looking good there, but obviously I'm sure a few of those penalties, and JB of course, a few of those penalties will be looked at in the steward's room after that incident.
Definitely, of course, we won't assign blame to anyone on the initial incident. We'll leave that to the professionals, because let's face it, folks, despite one of us being a fantastic commentator and the other one being a fantastic driver, we are not experts on that sort of thing. So we'll leave the stewards to do their thing as they do every week, and we'll continue on with what we're good at, which is shouting at cars on a Monday evening.
That is true. I see Websy there lose the car once again, under the safety car as well. I don't think that setup for that Haas is looking too good, just absolutely dropping the car in a very low gear as well. So be interested to see what happens with Websy during the rest of this race.
I mean, it was fantastic during qualifying. He was there sort of mid-pack, so about the same as what we can expect from him over the course of this season. But yeah, you might be right. And just in terms of a race setup, he perhaps doesn't look as strong as he did earlier on.
Not at all. A very big shame as well for the Alpines. They've been so good this season. And Ethan, who has been my most improved driver by a long shot, has been absolutely fantastic. Sitting P17 and 18, dead last, but I'm sure these two will push on through the grid and try and get a couple points to their name.
Still about 24, 23 laps to go in this Grand Prix. So time for them to get back up the order. But of course, I mean, a number of drivers who have been quite strong so far. And of course, the leaders trying to fight their way around the 4 cars that stayed out. But Landlord, though, of course, is the big name of those 4 drivers. Of course, he's chasing the championship lead at the minute. A win for him plus a Grimir retirement would bring the championship gap down to just 4 points, which is by far the closest we've seen it in quite a few races.
I mean, I am looking at that. Obviously, I'd normally say, Grimir retirement's a bit out of stretch, but he's on the soft tyres. He's surrounded by medium tyre runners, a couple of older tyre medium runners as well. So it would be interesting to see if Grumio just pushes that a little bit too hard, maybe has this bit of a spin and isn't able to score points, but it's going to be quite hard. He's won 6 championships for a reason. So it'll be very hard to see him not score any points today.
Very true, because Lando has 3 championships of his own, let's not forget. So he knows the way around a racetrack as well, if I do say so myself. I imagine we'll be able to get a restart going this time, so we'll see exactly how that plays out. But yeah, Grimmie on those soft tyres, it strikes me as just abnormal, just something that you wouldn't normally see the champion do, but regularly, or former champion at least, because of course Van is still the reigning champion at this point. He's the reigning champion for 5 more rounds this season. He's got to make sure to make the most of those rounds as he looks, because of course he can still finish as high as P5 in the standings.
That is true, yeah. Obviously, it's not been that good for Fan this season, especially compared to last season, but he's still doing very well, and hopefully we'll be able to finish 5th position.
We'll see if he can get any more points from today. We'll see where else the points are distributed. Safety car in this lap. There goes off into the pit lane. The Aston Martin green machine back into the pit lane. And we've got a green machine of our own there in P4. That's JB with that penalty to think about, though. Looking to add to his points tally, and Aston Martin's points tally to keep him in 9th. As the leader, it's Landlord who will lead him away. When will he go, though? Because it's a long main straight here. And we'll see when he chooses to go. Now he's going for it. He's left Wisburn for dead there. Fantastic restart from Landlord. He's away. And he's left flying duck behind too as Cot 5 gets right to work down the main straight, looking to close and make a move on JB for P4, but JB defends him brilliantly there towards turn 1. Cot can't find a way inside, he outbreaks the Aston Martin, who goes wide there, and Grimio goes through as well. Good restart from the 2 leaders so far, and Landlord leads away from Whizburn in second place.
Yeah, great restart there for Landlord. Whizburn just followed behind, but remember, Whizburn is on no slower command side. Cot absolutely speeding ahead, trying to make up as many positions as possible, but Grumio following nose to tail right behind.
Right there with him, and fans are trying to get to work too. Around the outside, JB as they run through turn number 5 as they make their way. Oh, poor exit, and there goes contact! And Fan lost it on the exit there and took JB with him. Yellow flag comes out. Could it be a virtual safety car perhaps? I wouldn't think so. Both cars recover it, but both cars now down the order. And very unfortunate for both the Aston Martin and our reigning champion in the McLaren. They've got a lot of work to do now. That pushes the Alpines up by 2 places. They're back off the bottom of the order. As Landlord is now getting chased by Cot. And Whizburn is challenging Cot though. And also keeping Grumio at bay. The soft tyre, Williams is on the move here. Right on the tail of that Red Bull as they run through the 3rd sector. But Grumio's got to play his cards right. He's got plenty of time here, but he can't allow Cot to get away at the same time. Looks to the outside though, going towards the last corner. He's on the curbs there to make the way into the last braking zone of the circuit. Around the outside goes the record champion. He's in P3 once again as Cot looks on Landlord for the lead.
Yeah, great move there by Grumio on Whizburn. And looking at Cot, he's now in a Williams sandwich. Though, obviously, Landlord is fighting Grumio for that championship. They want to secure the Constructors Championship. Landlord will back up Cot into Grumio, no doubt.
As they make their way through Sector 1 once again, Cot, I don't think needs backing up. He's right there on the tail of Landlord as it is. They can get enough run to try and challenge the Williams going towards turn number 4. He can't quite do it just yet through 5. I have my corner names wrong all night. This is turn 5 and going up to turn 6 now, which is the left hand. It goes to the inside. He's looking at the inside, locks up. And there goes Grumio looking around the outside. He's looking upstairs, trying to take away the 2nd place. He can't quite do it, but he's alongside the Alfa Romeo now into 7. They go side by side. Cot has to back out of it. And Grumio is up into a net 1st place as Landlord still leads the way.
Yeah, nothing really too much to worry about for Cot. Obviously, Grumio is going to have to stop again. Well, they both will. But obviously, Grumio's going to have to stop a lot earlier than Cot in this race. Badman, currently P7, a fantastic restart for him. Looking to eye up P6 away from Flying Duck.
Imri on the move too. He's taking Whizburn for P4 there as the 3 leaders run nose to tail as they have done since the safety car restart for about the last lap or so. More or less, it could become 4 major horsemen here as Imri's on the move, closing in big time on that train. Landlord keeping them all at bay here. And we could see Grumio go for a move for the lead here, but here they come. Does Cot go for it first? Who makes that first move? Who gets close enough? Onto that 9 of this Grand Prix. DRS back in play. Cot closing in. Grumio to the inside to get some clean air into the front of that race car. Imri sets the fastest up into turn 1. It's Cot who stays behind Grumio for the minute, but can't get close enough to make a move on Landlord just yet.
Yeah, Emery's able to push up the field as well, and it is right with Cot. This is going to be a fantastic end to this race. I can already foresee it. But yeah, looking a bit further down, Badman able to make that move past Lion Duck. So did BJ. And now Fuggy Fergus on those hard tyres going to look long in for the rest of this race. Followed by Red J, who's really done well to make the most out of these few incidents early on in the race.
I'll see if he can maintain that and try and close back in. He's got 2 seconds to the cars in front. That's one of the stronger drives for Red J so far as they make their way through Sector 2. Again, they're all still nose to tail. Grumio is not giving Landlord a second of time to breathe at all here, putting constant pressure on his teammate. He's practically shoving the Williams there through the 2nd sector. The bump drafting is absolutely immense. They run through into the 3rd and final sector on the circuit. And one mistake from Landlord, that's all it's going to take here to potentially knock him or both the 2 Williams cars out of contention. That'd be huge for the guys behind. Cot is right there, again, not letting them breathe as they run through, and DRS into play this time, Pope. We'll see what happens as they make their way through the last corner and onto the main straight once again.
Oh my lord, the distance of braking between Landlord and Grumio is crazy. And Grumio,
oh, penalty!
3-second tyre penalty. This is crucial for the rest of this Grand Prix.
Grumio takes the lead. Cot goes through the needle.
In between by Cot. What a fantastic move, the Alfa Romeo.
Oh, there goes contact though, and Grumio goes sliding off, and Cot goes wide. Landlord go back into the lead. Imri now in 2nd, and everyone shuffles through. Penalty for Grumio. Cot down to P7. I'm getting deja vu here, Pope. A Williams just tangling with Cot. Cot goes down the order, but not out of the fight just yet. Here come Badman and BJ now looking position as Grumio is struggling big time here, trying to get himself back in the fight and back on the podium once again.
It's going to be very hard to get those soft tyres back into a reasonable range, but that seems like a very late move there from Grumio's. Badman gets passed by Grumio, but he's still there defending. Go on, Badman. Show him why you got that full-time seat Mercedes, and he does. Fantastic defensive driving there by Badman.
PJ sets the fast lap of the race here. He's onto a set of hard tyres. Of course, Lucky and Fan down about by the order as they continue on up front here. This is fantastic racing here on lap 10 of this Qatar Grand Prix. Landor still shows low, but Imri might look to try and challenge now in the Ferrari. He's been waiting patiently behind the Alfa Romeo and the Williams of Cott and Grumio, but now seeks his chance to try and take the lead for himself. He's got to be very careful, though, to avoid those track limits, and Bagman is there too. Keep an eye out for him as well. Looking at a good shot to get Mercedes off the bottom step of the Constructors' Championship here as they run through the last couple of corners. And Imri will have DRS this time. He's using overtake, as is Landor, but Landor's got a bit more battery than he does. Down at the main straight they go once again. Imri closing the gap. Badman's there as well. Grumio in P4. No one is going to try and tackle Landlord here. Imri around the outside into turn 1. Might try and switch back on the exit. He's going to go for it, Pope. Look at this.
This is fantastic there by Imri, showing us why
he's got
fighting in the top of the entire season. And what a move on those fresher tyres, able to get the grip that Landlord didn't.
Ooh,
and look at Badman trying to make a move on Landlord as well. So we're wrong for Williams right now.
Badman trying to pull a double whammy there on the Landlord in the Williams. He's going to pull for the inside. Oh, he's looking at it for a second there. Grimmer's underneath him though. Very, very tight seat. And Cott looking at BJ as well. Fergus got a front row seat for us, but he's absolutely loving this in P7 there. But I imagine he wants to get involved a little bit himself. However, he may die in the process. This is just how close this race is right now.
I can't believe it. And yeah, Cott's able to recover to be just behind the drivers. But oh my lord, I've never seen racing like this. Just so close and so intense.
And Imri's gone there. 1.6 to the good over Landlord, and Badman there in third place will be looking to make the Williams car the next on his hit list as he runs towards the front of the order. Grumio still there in P4. That penalty can be big from here on a circuit which is so big on DRS trains. We could be looking at a no score for him should that continue to go against him at this stage of the Grand Prix. We've still got 18 laps to go. Plenty of time for things to change and for other drivers to get penalties. And also plenty of time for him to try and pull a lead if he can do so. Badman looking for second place. He's going to try and take it. Grumio to the inside of both cars though. Looking for P2. He does a repeat of what Cott did a few laps ago. And this time gets through nice and clean. And Cott trying it there on the inside of BJ. He's there in front. Looks about trying to take Landlord too. If he can get close enough. Not quite there yet. But Cott is still there. He's still about. And he's ready to try and take these guys on again.
1.7 now for Emery, keeping a nice gap there, and obviously those soft tyres are now not going to get any better, they're going to get slower. So Emery's in prime position to take a win here today. Been fantastic and making sure he gets out of it. And speaking of, Grumio spinning.
Oh no!
Positions here, going to drop outside the points with that penalty included, just within the points right now in P8. But oh my lord, he's lost all grip in those tyres, he's going to have to pit. Maybe onto a set of hards to see him to the end of the race, but this has just gone from bad to worse for Grumio.
On a day where the championship leader looks to try and increase his lead, perhaps to, at maximum, 2 race wins plus in the standings, it looks as though Landor's going to be dragging this one back as it stands right now. But still a lot of racing to be done, and things could go wrong for either driver here, but right now it's working in Landlord's favour. Imri 2.6 to the good here. Badman's now in P2, Cott in P3. He's on the run again, rampaging on his way back towards P1. Landlord's got BJ as well as both Red Bulls for company as they emerge off the last corner, and Grumio there in P8. He stayed out though.
I don't know about that one. I would have. You've lost so much tyre. You can see it screaming, but Cott making that move on Badman. BJ just too far behind Landlord, and Wisburn passing his teammate Fuggy Fergus. This is just so close. Look how close these drivers are. But one person who isn't close is Imri, 2.5 ahead. Fantastic so far.
Further back, you see Red J challenging Connie Goblin here in the race for P11. No points, just pride on offer here between these two fantastic drivers as they make their way through. Red J has been, he's kept it up there. Perhaps a few retirements up front. He could be looking at some points because, of course, those penalties will be coming into play. But, of course, he need a safety car to close back in and get a real opportunity at that. But you never know. It could happen. So we could see everyone score.
Wisburn and Landlord have to pit still. And Flying Duck, they're all on their first lap tyres. So... obviously, I'm looking at the rest of the grid will probably have to pit as well, but they're going to be on fresher tyres. This could be very, very good for Red J in that Ferrari.
He could be in the money, could Red J tonight. We'll see if that continues on. PJ Callaghan, another time penalty there. He runs in P17, Fan there in P18. Unable to recover so far from that incident with JB earlier on. I'm sure he's kicking himself for that, but we'll continue on regardless in the hopes of something to come around to change his fortunes. Imri, that lead sort of stagnated now. 2.5 seconds to the good over Cott. who will start to close in, no doubt. Badman there in third, only just in DRS range at the minute, so he can keep in front of Landlord in the chasing pack there. BJ closing on Landlord, looking to try and go for a move, but can't do it just yet. He's not close enough, so they run down towards turn 1 again. Grimmy making moves, he's made way around Fergus there for P7, and Flying Duck and Websy are joining this fight now. Those guys going side by side in the race for P9. Who's gonna give here? Someone's got to emerge in front. It's going to be Flying Duck on the inside at turn number 2. Good exit from the outer. A bit of content there. Websy making a bit of a lub tap there to go through turn 3. And pulling back to the inside though for turn 4. We'll keep an eye on these guys here. These guys having a fantastic fight here behind the leaders. Through 5. Looks like Flying Duck's got him for the minute, but keep an eye. Oh, he's gone wide there. And that could allow Websy back into the fight again. But these two are closing on the lead pack quite dramatically here. And that could see Grimiro fill out the points outright because of that penalty.
Yeah, no, these two drivers are doing fantastic. I'm going back to Flying Duck and Websy. Absolutely incredible. And they are obviously trying to fight for that last points position. Obviously, just that little bit far away right now, but Foggy's not too far up the road. But yeah, Grumio, I'm surprised he's still on those soft tyres, but he's just not looking to have the pace as he did earlier on in this race. But yeah, incredible. I was going to say opening laps, but we're already on lap 14. It's just going back that fast.
Nearly halfway through the race there, Flying Duck is a penalty. Yellow flag behind him. That's Ducker almost got around there, but he managed to save the car. But he may fall into the clutches of Cockney Goblin as a result. Grimio Wes Wisburn in the pit lane. Grimio stays out once again. Part of me is unsurprised here that Grimio stayed out for as long as he has in these soft tyres. This is the same guy we've seen break his front wing with 6 laps to go and continue on to try and score points. That's just the kind of driver he is. He just refuses to give up on the stint. So I imagine he's got a plan in mind. Perhaps looking at another set of soft tyres if he can bring him far enough. But that's a bit more of an ask. Perhaps mediums to the end, do you think I'm thinking?
I think the conventional one would be definitely mediums, but I think you are right. I think we'll probably see some soft tyres. Get strapped back on that, Williams.
Webbsy on the soft tyres there. He's going back out onto the racetrack here for Hassan. I think I saw a wing change as well, so he's away. Flying Duck onto hard tyres, Wisburn onto medium. So 3 different tyre compounds being used by the 3 cars in the pit lane here. I see Webbsy on his way out as well. Fans P16 now. JB has made a fresh start. He's back there in P18. Imri 2.2 in front now. Cott's closing in a little bit, but it's not enough right now for anything to have any major effect. BJ still working on chasing Landlord right now. Yellow flag behind that is Shane who's gone around. Shane at the exit of turn number 6, and you see Wisburn going past him there as well. Yellow flags flying, but should be cleared up in a matter of moments here. There we go. So back into full racing conditions across the circuit. Up front, Imri, that lead is shrinking ever so slightly. I think he's good for the minute, but once Cott gets back into the DRS range of a race and Landlord's in, Grimio stays out. So Landlord now making that change, perhaps onto a set of hard tyres here.
Yeah, probably isn't the best thing actually that Landlord pitted on this lap. I'm not sure if Grimio was going to pit the next 2 laps, but I think he might have to because, like I say, he's just not gaining the time I think he would want to, even though he's still in the DRS zone of BJ. It'd be interesting to see if he does climb up towards that McLaren, but BJ doing fantastic and really repping for McLaren.
Doing a brilliant job right now, holding it in P4 for the minute, and about a second back from Badman, who's looking at that podium position potentially and licking his lips at the prospect of that on a full-time return. Imri though, I'm just keeping an eye on him for the minute. Of course, 1 win already this season. He took it at Hungary. He hasn't been in as good a position since. I have to wait and see if he's got anything special in the bag here to defend from Cott when he no doubt closes in, because Cott's been, I think, far and away the fastest car tonight so far.
Oh, for sure, indeed, and you're seeing that now. Though it's not as big improvements as probably you would expect, but he's chowing down that gap, and maybe if they do have to pit one more time, it'll be interesting to see the last few laps. But yeah, real gaining up on this lap, couple temps gained so far.
Of course, a number of cars to pits, that moves a few cars up the order. Red J and Cockney Goblin now P7 and P8 for the minute. They're still fighting over that position, but Red J has the edge for the minute. But those guys, I imagine, will be looking to pit perhaps around sort of lap 20-ish, or perhaps even a bit later than looking at a set of mediums or softs. As BJ comes into the pit lane here, we're seeing Hards go on his car, no doubt. Grimio again stays out, looking to go as long as he can with those soft tyres, so perhaps make a switch on soft later on.
This could be very impressive if he pulls this off, but it's going to be hard, no doubt.
Mediums on for BJ there, in the McLaren he's away. Good stop from the boys in Papaya. As I'll continue on back out towards the racetrack. Landor's coming off the last corner, so of course we're sort of judging off where he exits. As BJ crosses the line to start lap 17. And not quite there yet, so he gets back up to speed again. He's going to emerge behind this little train. He's close to Landor than I thought he'd be. Shane, 5 seconds, he's retired from the session. So Shane becomes our first retiree of the night.
Yeah, big shame for Shane, who I like to say always does very well in these races, but just doesn't have the luck that really goes his way. But yeah, looking at the gap between BJ and Landlord, that undercut obviously paid a little bit of favour towards Landlord. The gap is very similar. You see a car, Ethan, going quite slowly up ahead. I'm not too sure what happened there, but I'm sure these cars behind him will be passing him rather quickly just due to the tyre difference.
Wisburn took full advantage of that. He's already out back onto P8 once again and looking at some more points if he can get them today. He is he's the highest rank driver who on fresh tyres as it stands right now, which perhaps is a good sign because he's far back enough to put we should see a number of cars out in front as Shane's car pulls over on the racetrack. And Grimio's in at last. So can we look at mediums here at the end of the race?
Yeah, we'll have to keep eyes on that as Landlord gets a 3-second time penalty.
And
that is not good.
Things.
Yeah, set of mediums for that Williams behind. So, yeah, that kind of signifies that Grumio is a bit worried about this undercut. As I think we'll see this entire train pass him. So, and Wisburn really gained a lot from this undercut. Very impressive by the Red Bull team.
Grumio narrowly emerges in front of Ethan as Webster sits fast up at the race on soft tyres. So we're looking at the second half of this Grand Prix, and if I have a look at the gap to leader here. So right now, Wisburn, Landlord, BJ, Grumio, they're about 25 seconds behind Imri as it stands. So Imri may narrowly emerge back in the lead again. I have to wait and see because the pit lane here Qatar is quite long. I have to see what the plan is, but of course Imri started on the hard tyre, so he can go into another set of mediums and finish the race this way if he wants to.
Oh, 100%. I think Embry is the one to pull the trigger. Embry's in a great position. He's got a nice little gap to cut. And can just kind of take it a little bit gently, though obviously being worried about that Alfa Romeo behind who could very well pounce at any moment. But I think pitting at this point now could benefit going on to those soft tyres.
We'll see what Badman does here. He's into the pit lane here. And I think we are looking at soft pope. Yes, indeed. There goes Badman making that change. And perhaps the podium looking to be on for him today. Either way.
Yeah, he's done very well so far, Badman. And like I say, on his return to full-time seat, what a way to mark.
So either way then, good exit from the Mercedes, but will fall back behind this train. Should he emerge in front of them, remains to be seen. Sorry, should he emerge close enough to them to get back in front, remains to be seen.
Yeah, I've just realised, Badman behind these guys. The undercut is so powerful. I did not realise how powerful it is, and it does actually put into question of, though Cott and Imri had a pretty big gap to the cars behind, is it going to be big enough to foresee the rest of this? Because they're on 14-lap tyres. They are really old tyres nowadays.
Definitely, especially on the mediums. That would be a struggle for those guys. Imri though, he's got 10 laps. I think we're definitely now, given that Grumio took us about 11, 12 laps, I think we're definitely in soft tyre territory now. It'll be a case of seeing who bites the bullet first as Cott comes in. So Cott looking to undercut Imri perhaps.
Here we go, yeah, this is the moment of truth, and Imri is going to have to pit on this next lap, but that red light flashing really shows that he does not have that much ERS, shows you how much he's been pushing to keep a gap ahead of Cott.
Cott making the change, onto soft tyres he goes. We'll see where it looks like he's going to emerge in front of, if not with the, emerge with, if not in front of the train behind. It's going to be very close here, but I think he does manage to emerge in front. As Wisburn's in prime position now for podium place, if he can carry this on to the end. But Cott's at the pit exit there, and he's going to emerge just in front, which means that Imri should come back out in the lead, short of any dramas.
Should, but remember, Cott on those soft tyres is going to gain a hell of a lot of time on Imri. This pack is now closed up all over again, and see BJ and Grumio scrapping. What a fantastic defence there for BJ on Grumio.
Here comes Lalo too.
These two Williams at bay, can he do it? Really pushing them to their limits. This is fantastic racing.
Grumio around the outside. And BJ looking back in though. Oh, moves back into line. But BJ in a Williams sandwich here. Not the nicest of places to be given who's driving said Williams. Red J penalty there for multiple warnings. Looking at the total here. Looking at 9 drivers who have penalties in this race. That's half the field. Technically over given that Shane is out of the race. Imri's in. So he's making that change now. He's got 11 seconds over Fergus and another 11 over Cott. I could be wrong though. So we're looking here at about 23.5 seconds to Cot the minute. So we'll keep an eye on these guys here. We'll see how much Cot gains on those soft tyres. Imri, the Ferrari team make the change. No dramas there for the Scuderia, and he is back on the racetrack. Fergus leads the way on lap 21 now, but of course I imagine he'll have to pit way later on.
Out and I'll be happy.
Yeah,
Fergus's race win.
Way to not show your bias, Pope. Anyway, Imri back onto the racetrack. Cot's going to emerge side by side. But Cot gets back out in front narrowly. And Badman sits the fastest lap on those soft tyres. So we've got a number of soft tyre runners now who'll be charging through the field in these late stages. Keep an eye on Badman. Could be a thorn in the side to drivers like Landlord, BJ, Grumio, Wisburn. As Landlord goes a bit deep there. As of right now, remember, because they both have penalties, Grumio will still finish in front of Landlord despite the fact they'll both drop back. So it looks potentially as though at one point will go Grumio's way over Landlord. It's sort of any dramas in the last 9 laps, which could still happen. You never know. Grumio struggled earlier on those soft tyres after about 7 laps or so. So we'll see about how long these mediums go, given he's pushing into the limit and back.
Yeah, and looking at Cot and Imri, Cot is now obviously in a very good position to be able to defend off Imri, but Imri has been nothing but rapid in this race. And is just on the edge of DRS. We'll see if he gets it for this lap. Obviously, 1 DRS zone, as you mentioned earlier, on this circuit. So, really needs to be in with that DRS zone to have any chance of putting up a fight against Cot.
And Grumio looks to put up a fight against Wisburn now, trying to take away P4 if he can. He's 1.3 in front of BJ, make that 1.2 now. So, those guys are falling back a little bit. Grumio to the outside here, looking at DRS, can't quite get there. Moving, look at the inside. Oh, a bit of a wobble there from the record champion. That's going to move BJ a bit closer now. Those guys closing in, getting to work. Cot sets the fastest lap of the race. Imri is about a second back. No DRS for him. Grumio to the inside, takes away P4. Landlord to the inside, takes away P6. And there goes... Oh, Batman almost looked at it for a second there. Might try and sneak in underneath. BJ can't quite do it for the minute.
Yeah, Batman's been unfortunate to be behind this pack, because he's kind of stagnated a little bit in his progression and used up a lot of those soft tyres already. The soft tyres burn out so quickly on a high degradation track such as Qatar, so not too good for Badman right now, but I'm sure he'll be very happy with points nonetheless, but he knows he can get more. He makes a fantastic move down the inside of BJ. Is he able to defend it off? Able to defend from that switchback? Going to deploy some of that ERS to make sure he's ahead, and he does. Fantastic battle between the McLaren and Mercedes there.
BJ falls away from this battle for the minute. Looks to try and get himself back into it in a moment. Imri now inside the DRS range. And I'm getting deja vu here, Pope, back to last season's race. Last season it was a Haas and a Red Bull. This time it's an Alfa Romeo and a Ferrari who are chasing each other for the victory. We got a 2-man DRS train, mano a mano here in these final 7 laps. As it looks to be going down, we'll see how much Imri gains here. Because he hasn't got that red light is still flashing on that Ferrari and not on the Haas. Cot's been a bit better at managing his DRS, but he hasn't got as much in the tank as he perhaps might like, given he's defending from DRS now. On to lap 23, 7 to go. Here under the lights in Qatar. Grumio's in a world of his own right now. 5.2 back from the leaders and 1.7 in front of Wisburn as Landlord closes down on the Red Bull. Courtney Goblin, 3-second penalty as the leaders go into turn 1 once again. Wisburn for P5 at the minute. Landlord P6 and that'll be P8 once they're done here. Remember that because he's got a penalty to think about too. Grumio as it stands, potentially may finish perhaps even P6 if he can get enough of a gap in front of Wisburn as Imri is now within half a second of Cot.
Yeah, but remember, there is someone leading this race, and that is Foggy Ferguson at Red Bull, I'm sure, going to be trying to take these tyres as far as they can go. Obviously losing quite a hefty amount of time to the cars behind, but if they start battling, do not rule out Foggy Ferguson in this race.
You never know, anything could happen in this league, it typically does. As we make our way through the end of the second sector towards Sector 3, I think by this point, yes, you are right, Pope, it doesn't look like Ferguson's going to stop for the rest of this race. It looks as though he's going to try and see this out to the flag, which he can do. I mean, the pace has been alright, but it's just the fact those soft tyres, the soft tyre runs are faster. There's nothing more to it than that. Grumio running in P4, as I say, about 2 seconds to the good now of Wisburn. It's about another second back to Landlord, who's still staying in DRS range, but it looks as though right now it's advantage Grumio and game and set for the mid, but not quite matched just yet because, of course, that'll bring Grumio's gap, by my count, provided that they just do finish P7 and P8, they'll bring it out to 15 points. Perhaps damage limitation for Landlords. Imri on the inside there. Look at the lead-off. Cole will take it too. Imri to the net P1, but I can't quote net just yet because he's still got to take on Fergus for the lead. But how difficult will that be given how old those hard tyres are and how fresh the softs are?
It won't be that easy, but those tyres by the end of the race will be just as bad off as those hard tyres in terms of obviously the mould of the tyres. But be interested to see. And obviously, Cott's going to try and have to fight back past Embry. We'll see if they do it once they both pass Fergus. But Fergus still got a pretty decent gap to the likes of Grubio, so he might be able to get a podium here. We'll have to wait and see.
Of course, those guys not on soft tyres. The only soft tyre runner in that pack is Badman, who's currently stuck behind Landlord as it stands. So not too much of a threat to the Red Bull for the minute. But there we go. You see Imri there, looking at the outside. Can't quite do it. He's all over the place looking at the right-hand side of Fergus now. And Imri moves back into the lead. They're side by side, though, into the right-hander. Fergus has to back out. And this could be big for Cott. Oh, penalty for Fergus there. Not good for the Red Bull at all there. That might make his job a bit harder, as Grumio will also have one of his own, but will fall back a little bit. But Fergus a bit safer. As of right now, he'll still finish in P3 in this race because Cott will take him. Yet he moves out of the way for the faster Alfa Romeo. But has Cott lost DRS? I don't think he may have done. He has. Oh, no. Oh, I must say he has. No, he hasn't. But Imri trying to break the toe here all the way to the right-hand side of the racetrack onto lap 25. 5 to go here in Losail. Cott's closing. He's brought it back down to half second or so, but it's not enough just yet.
Yeah, those two are going to put on an absolute show for us in these last few laps. I am absolutely certain of that. Looking a little bit further down the back, we're going to see Landlord and Wisburn having a fight here. We'll see if Wisburn can pass it. He can. He's ahead of that Williams, or still ahead of that Williams, should I say. But Landlord is still going to try and chase that Red Bull.
And you saw Badman trying to sneak past as well there, going through turn 2. Fanmimo is up to P11 here. He's closing back in on these guys, but those hard tyres have gone quite a way. I imagine he's taking the same sort of strategy as Fergus, trying to make it to the end, as is PJ Khaled on those hards. Everyone's made their stops, so no worries there. We'll just see if these guys can actually gain anything. As let's say, just Flying Duck still chasing Websy for P9 right now. A retirement in front of them could mean a late fight for points between those two cars. Let's wait and see just what happens here. Imri is 7 tenths in front of Cott now. So Cott perhaps dropping back a little bit. Those soft tyres, without doubt, seen better days. But we'll have to see if you can find another gear of mileage to try and really challenge in these late stages of the race. Given the ERS, Imri's red light still flashing, so is Cott's now, but DRS is in Cott's favour. Keep an eye on down the main straight.
Yeah, obviously, that one lap fresher tyres on Imri's side will definitely benefit, but yeah, Cott's going to gain quite a hefty amount of time on the DRS, and they are literally going to have to fight this out on pure pace here. Having a look further behind, Fuggy Fergus only losing 1 second to Grubio. That lap just gone, so is on track to get a wicked podium here. This would be fantastic for Fuggy.
Without doubt. Landlord back around Wisburn here for P5, but Landlord's dropped back now from Grumio. So as of right now, it looks like Grumio will be staying where he is in P4, because Landlord's doing such a good job of keeping everyone else behind, and that means he'll drop to P8, and Grumio will maintain P4. So things have fallen apart for Landlord today. And on those soft tyres, Pope, about 10 laps ago, we thought that Grumio may be falling away from this race.
Yeah, I mean, he's a record champion for a reason. He knows how to control a race, even when he's maybe not on the correct strategy. And yeah, everyone thought, Grumio might even be out the points during this race. But look at this. P4, maybe even P3 by the end of the race. This could be very interesting.
We'll see just what happens here. There's 3 laps to go for the leaders up front, just under 3.5. Cott is still there, but remember, a penalty for one of these two cars could spell disaster and the end to the race this early, unless both of them get penalties, in which case we'd have the race back on again. Looking at it here, just 7 cars who have not taken a penalty today.
Yeah, it's a really tough track to keep all 4 tyres on, so I'm not surprised by that at all, and it shouldn't get anyone down. You see the gaggle of cars behind Landlord, all of them trying to make a move here. Wisburn just falling behind, but you see Badman on those soft tyres. Is he able to make a move? No, he's got absolutely no juice left, but you see a late dive? No. Thought Wisburn was going to try and go up the inside of Landlord just then.
Not quite close just yet, but we could see him later on going for it. He'll have two big shots, maybe 3 down that DRS straight. Of course, coming towards the finish line, if you can get close enough, but you need a particularly good exit there. I think whoever's running behind Landlord at the last corner will be in the best position to try and claim P5 of the line. Even so, these guys are fighting amongst each other because Landlord's going to finish behind them regardless. Up front, Cott about 8 tenths back from Imri in the closing stages. So this looks like Imri's win, but that could change quite dramatically with the face of one mistake. And that's just how treacherous this circuit is.
Yeah, no, it's going to be really, really close. between these two. I'm sure it might even be side by side over the line.
Oh, don't let me dream.
Imri looking very good right now to just see this off, but we'll have to wait and see.
Essentially, I mean, you weren't here the last time we finished side by side for Lando. I believe that would have been Zandvoort last season, which you were not here for. That was Fan and Websy separated by 2,000ths of a second. And I'm thinking last night in the NASCAR race, they're their closest finish in series history. Could we see that tonight potentially? You never know.
I mean, let's hope so. It'd be really, really good if we can see a close race here. 2 seconds between Grumio and Fuggy. I'd be interested to see for the last spot on the podium, see who is able to seal that. Looking for a man, you see BJ trying to make a move on Batman, but these two going side by side through turn 1, just behind the likes of Landlord, who's been passed by Wisburn. So Wisburn back into P5.
And looking here to hold on to that in the last lap and a half. Cott has not fallen back as much this time. He's about 6/10 back. I'd say at this point, if it's the same case as with Landlord for the back, if he can stay close to Imri off the last corner, if he can stay about here, I reckon, then he may have a good chance. But he needs a good exit out of that last turn in order to give us a proper run towards the finish line. Imri, though, gains massively there in the second sector. As we go through sector 3, it's just a case of who's willing to put more on the line between these two. Landlord 3 seconds, and that might just about seal the deal for as to where he finishes today. It'll be P8 for Landlord. He can only bring it round to the flag now.
6/10 between Grumio and Fergus. This is going to be very, very tense. Last lap as the leaders. 6/10 between them. Is Cott able to make a move into turn 1 on Embry? We'll have to wait and see. This is the prime opportunity for Cott to pass Embry, but it's just looking a bit too distant.
Grumio side by side with Fergus. The leaders start the bell lap here. One more lap to go. It looks like Grumio's got him, but Fergus to come back at the Williams though. With that DRS, Grumio is just a bit quicker. Fergus stays in his wake as they run towards turn 1. Can he outbreak the record champion? He can't quite do it. He's going to have to stay where he is now and hope that Grumio gets another penalty, or that he can keep close enough for DRS on that last straight. But as the leaders though, they start the final lap. Half second separating the pair of them. Cott was 6/10 back off the last corner that time round. He didn't gain enough to give us a sniffer run towards the line, so he needs to be a lot closer here. But Imri has been in complete control of the second half of this race since emerging from the pit lane, and he is on track for his second win of the campaign, second of his RDL career. And he's had to fight for this one very hard indeed, Pope.
Yeah, it's been really tactical on the side of Imri and Cott, making sure they're on the right tyres at the right time, and both of them have absolutely played it to perfection. That is why they are running P1 and 2 right here, but that might change if Cott can get a good run through these final corners and use that DRS. It's a long way to that start-finish line on this circuit. 6/10, is he able to do it? I think he might just be a little bit too far behind.
Imri then emerges off the final corner. Checker flag about to go into the air. He breaks the toe off the corner. Checker flag is waiting for him, and Orion Imri will take the checker flag and win the Qatar Grand Prix. His second win of the campaign. Cott will finish in a valiant second place. Fantastic effort from the pole sitter. Grumio will fight back in the end to take away third place. It's a big step towards the 7th Drivers' Championship of his career. Fergus will finish in 4th. Great drive from the Red Bull team as Wisburn takes 5th WP4 after Fergus' penalties. BJ 6th, Badman 7th, and Lalo will finish in 8th place. Yellow flag here in the last corner. I believe that has Flying Duck run out of fuel? I don't think he has.
It's
Websy's out of fuel. And will Fan catch him here? He will. Fan narrowly gets in front. Can PJ take him as well? No, can't quite. Websy, P11 in the end, PJ 12th. Oh, and that's a big shunt off towards turn 1. Red J is moving for a close fit. Him and Courtney Goblin are tight to the line. Contact there. Red J narrowly gets in front. Ethan for P13. Both of them are penalties in the end. And the two, and Aston Martins, oh my god, they're going formation over the line here.
Oh, I love it.
That's
I love
brilliant.
it. Even in a week.
And JV just nips it in front in the end. What a race.
It's good to see that team still keeping their head up high. Because they've done well this season, no doubt. So it's just cheering on that. Wisburn gets it in game driver of the day. So great drive by the Red Bull team. I think they've really shown well. But for his second race win, a huge congratulations to Imri. What a race to win. And what a tough race to win. Played it to perfection.
Definitely. Took advantage of perhaps struggles for those around him. And in that second half, he was a machine. As was Cott. We can't take away what a drive he's had today, of course. Led the early goings, fell back a bit, fought through once again, and came up a little bit short. But that coming up short is nothing to be ashamed of. It was absolutely fantastic to watch. And Ferrari take another win this campaign. Both their original drivers have taken wins this season, of course, but the Nicholas stays long forgotten for Ferraris. Imri now leads the way for them. He wins here in Qatar. Second place goes to Kot. A very, very deserved second place, but it could have been the win. It could have been either one of those two cars today. Grumio will finish in third, again take a step towards that 7th title. Wisburn takes 4th, followed by Ferguson 5th and BJ 6th. Badman 7th, Lyle Bonat the final point on offer. Flying Duck 9th and C110P found round to field top 10. Good fight back for him as the reigning champion. Websy 11th then, just ran out of fuel at the end, couldn't quite be caught, or got caught by PJ Khaled, but couldn't complete the pass. He finishes 12th. Ethan 13th for Alpine, Red J 14th, JB 15th, Lucky Lambert 16th, and your two retarees. Sorry, no, Connie Goblin did finish the race. I'm mistaken, and Shane goes down as the 1 DNF today. So that's our race.
Oh yeah, carry on. Sorry, I do apologise for jumping in there.
As you should. But I'll get posted interviews going. Yeah, any thoughts? By all means, give them to us.
Yeah, that must have been a very tough race. Obviously, very long. We had a red flag in that race, safety car, virtual safety car, I believe, as well. So, yeah, really, really tough, and well done to those drivers who finished, and those drivers who did get a penalty as well. Obviously, it's something to be very, very proud of, especially in such a hard circuit that is Qatar. And like I say, huge congratulations to Imri for picking up his second win of his RDL career.
Fantastic stuff all around. I do hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did. I mean, that was just simply excellent racing. I mean, we do have our second place finisher. Oh, we had him there. Cott has just joined us. He's going back and forth, joining and rejoining. He was here. But I think that means we'll probably get a few words from him potentially in a moment. Cott, you hear us, mate? Yeah.
Yep, I'm here now, sorry.
Well, fantastic drive from you today. Is it gut-wrenching to finish second there, or are you happy with that?
I'm happy with it after the last couple of results. That haven't particularly gone good for me, but yeah, it was a really good race. When it came down to it, Imre just had the tyres and the speeds, and fair play to him. He played it really nice.
So this is good redemption for Japan then, yeah?
Yeah, very.
I mean, of course, you pulled away fantastically both times on the start there. Was there any secret to that, or did we just away off the line quicker?
No, I think I just was focused on the curbs, making sure I didn't go over the white lines whilst the others were trying to focus on the car behind. And with them battling out, it just allowed me to get away with pushing.
I mean, did you get close in terms of penalties at all? Did you get any warnings from track limits at all?
Shockingly, I only had one warning. I thought I would have got more, but played it nice.
Definitely, of course. You're involved in quite a heavy pack of cars today, all sort of going balls to the wall for points. Did you have fun racing those guys?
Yeah, there was a few sketchy moments, I'll say, but was really good racing. Was really hard racing, pushing each other right to the limits. That's what I like to see. What I like to do is really fun.
Of course, there was a collision with I believe it was with Grumio as you guys were racing for the lead early on. Give us your take. What happened there?
So I managed to be able to get past both the Williams on a straight, and I thought I had cleared Grumio. Well, I'd cleared Grumio, but I thought he wasn't going to send it down the inside because it's a high-speed sweeping corner, and sending it down the inside is you can't do it, but it's very risky. So I thought he was going to play it sensible. Me and him pull away from his Williams teammate, because obviously those two are battling for the championship. So I thought he would have worked with me to pull away from his teammate, then had our own battle. But I don't know, we'd have to see his PRV to see what it is, but he could be entitled to that space. I did think it was a bit risky, but it paid off in the end for me, so...
Yeah, I think you should probably be very pleased with that performance. And also, I will say, I'll mention that move you guys were making, going 3-wide with both the Williams cars and sort of threading the needle get through there. That was excellent stuff. So high marks from us for that. Four more rounds left to go in the season. Of course, you are still chasing Imri for P3 in the Drivers' Championship. Do you reckon that's still on? Do you think? There's 10 points in it.
Yeah, it's definitely still on. Me and Imri are going to have a really good battle with this. As you've seen on track, I hope it stays that way.
Well, there's 4 more rounds to go. Of course, got Qatar, Mexico, Brazil, then Abu Dhabi. Is there any track in there that's perhaps a highlight for you? Perhaps to get another win?
All of them are really good for me. I really like all 4 tracks. I've had some crazy pace around Abu Dhabi. I think I was in the 21, like 0 or something. Very low pace.
Very exciting to see in a couple of weeks' time. But Yeah, I regret asking because we saw last season you came alive when we sort of reached these circuits, and I believe you won Qatar last season if I'm not mistaken. Although I wasn't there for that, but I believe you might have won.
I'm unsure about that. I can't quite recall, but I know Qatar I do like, and that track I done a race around it recently in the rain, and the setup I've got it works in all sorts of conditions. So anything it throws at me, I'll be ready for.
Let's try and hold you to that next week then. Yeah, well, congratulations on the second place finish. Definitely one to be proud of. And yeah, perhaps we'll see you back here next week on the podium at Qatar.
Yep, hopefully. See you soon. Thanks.
Oh, it's just a cut tonight. The looks of things. We'll sign off then. Pope, any final thoughts and give us your word of the race?
Word of the race definitely has to be. Oh, I don't.
Okay, I have
Close.
I have a word in mind, but I'm not going to say it until you say it. I want to see if I'm right.
Close.
Oh, okay, right. Okay, I had a different word.
What was your word?
My word was slipstream.
Oh, that's a good one. That's an F1 related one. I
So,
was saying
fancy
close just because the racing was so close. Will you slipstream this week?
Slipstream, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you heard it here first, then, ladies and gentlemen. So when this stream comes to an end, make sure to go to the comment section and type in the word slipstream. Let us know what you think of Pope's commentary and how much you're missing when we eventually say goodbye. And also, any suggestions for what song he's going to sing in the reverse grid finale, because that has to happen, as we all know.
It does. It does. I'm eagerly awaiting.
Can we get an insight into any songs you're thinking of so far? I feel like you said Murder on the Dance Floor at one point.
Murder on the Dance Floor is obviously a good one, but it's for the audience to decide.
We'll have to wait and see. Then that's when I might get a vote out, get a poll out on the channel. But regardless, though, that'll be it for tonight's race. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. And of course, next week's race will be coming onto your screen on Monday, the 13th of May. That'll be the Circuit of the Americas for the Texas Grand Prix. Of course, we'll call it United States Grand Prix because that's what it is. And yeah, that'll be all from us tonight. So from myself and Pope, it's good night, and we shall see you next week.